Hi there guys, Sam here. Welcome back to another video. You join me once again in my Mk8 Golf R to talk about the Mk8 Golf R and some new sort of final reveal features before we find the full reveal next week on the car. Yeah, some interesting developments really that have come to light. So yeah, I'll get straight into the video really. So yes, join me once again in my Mk8 Golf R. Welcome to the weekend. Hope you're all well. I hope hope you've been enjoying the videos of late. And yeah, some final little bits of development for the Mk8 Golf R for you lot to divulge and decide what that makes you think about the car. You know, as I've said before, 4th of November is where we finally get all the details from VW, right from the main source, and I'm looking forward to that next week. I'll share it on my channel, I'll go through all the specs and stuff, probably be a configurator video out too, and yeah, I'll start deciding whether or not I want to upgrade from my Golf R to that one. But yeah, I want to go through straight into these like extra bits of information that I found out this week. First of all, thanks so much for like the support I get on the channel. People drop me messages on Instagram or Facebook or just in the comments, and they just they really help me out actually in terms of getting this information and then sharing it with kind of the wider community, because that's what this channel is all about. So let's start, and I'll put up a screenshot to kind of like the left of me of where I found this. Now I got this DM'd to me on Instagram by a subscriber, so thank you for that. And essentially what someone has done is they've had a test drive in the Mk8 Golf GTI, and they've looked in the handbook. Now, if I take my handbook here for my Mk7 Golf R, you can see that it includes Golf GTI, GTD, and a normal Golf. They like to combine everything into one handbook because it makes it easier. You know, they're making so many of these cars, anything to cut costs is the key, even if it's on certain pages. So if you're quite clever, you can probably think if you look through this manual in your Mk8 Golf GTI, it might divulge some information about the R, and in this case it does. So it says the car's power output is 245 kilowatts. That's 330 brake horsepower, I should say. And again, that means it kind of leads to what the speculations was at the start of the year. Yeah, I'm a bit surprised about that, but quite happy about it. It also says that it has 420 newton meters of torque. Now this car has about 380, so it's up by 40 pounds, 40 newton meters worth of torque, and it's up by 30 brake horsepower. So that is a good amount. That's a nice amount. I'm really happy about that, actually, really happy about that. The other interesting thing, as you can probably see on the screenshot, is it says about a drift mode. Now this came to light first really from, in my sort of mind, from the Focus RS, the Mark III having this drift mode, and it was really cool. It was a good party piece. It certainly made the car what it was, and you know, fast forward fans loved it. I loved it. And yeah, you really do feel the back end going out, because I have driven one on the road, and yeah, it'll put a massive smile on my face. And it basically says, I'll read it out, depending on the vehicle equipment, this is drift, semicolon, depending on the vehicle equipment, this driving profile is only available for R models, vehicles with R performance rear axle differential with dynamic torque distribution transfer, a high torque to the rear axle in order to permit vehicle handling with oversteer. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty clear cut. So what we found out there, it's looking very likely it's going to have 330 brake horsepower, or as it says there, 245 kilowatts. Torque 420, that is an increase. That's a good amount. And a bit of a drift feature, which is very cool. Even better news is I've seen a clip, which again, a lot of people tagged me on, and I appreciate it so much. So please don't stop doing that, because I want to share it to everyone. You know, get it out there. And it's going around, the car's going around the Nürburgring, and from the sounds and the noise, it definitely sounds like it's got a manual. Like, you can tell the difference between the gear shifts. Obviously, it's just absolutely seamless. You barely notice it with a DSG, don't you? But yeah, this was like, yeah, a bit of a slower gear change, but it definitely sounds like a manual, which is great news. Will they bring it to the UK? I hope they do. It's definitely going to be around in some regions anyway, so that's great to know. So what have we learned from this little reveal before the full reveal? We've learned that it's probably going to have a drift mode. Well, it's almost certainly going to have a drift mode. It's going to have 330 brake horsepower. It's going to have 420 newton meters worth of torque. it's almost likely going to be offered with a manual and a DSG gearbox. So as we're getting so close to the reveal date, this has kind of come to light. I think it's really great news. I think it's really exciting. I wanted to share it with you guys. And yeah, it certainly gives me a lot to think about, because would I upgrade to a manual Mk8 Golf R with a bit more power, drift mode? Yeah, it's suddenly adding on a few bits. Now, I think the reason why they have done this is because if you listen to a lot of my content, you know they've got the Club Sport, the GTI, GTDs, you know, all sorts of special editions will randomly appear with the hot hatches. They're running out of room in terms of their price bracket to fit things in. Now, I've said before that the Mk8 Golf R should not be more expensive, or should not be the same price as an Audi S3 at £38,475. Now, one of the ways that they can get around with that is by saying, well, it's got an extra 30 brake horsepower, it's got an extra 14 pounds for 40 newton meters worth of torque, and it's got a drift mode. That counteracts the fact that it hasn't got an Audi badge on the front of it. So that's interesting. Does mean, sadly, it'll probably end up costing about £38,500. But that's the only way I can think of it, really, because with the Club Sport being 300 brake horsepower, I think people would struggle to go for the R. They'd struggle to justify it, and I think I was struggling to justify it, and a lot of my subscribers were sort of saying that as well. So cool stuff, really cool stuff. There you go, there's some news. Thank you so much for the support, and for people who just, you know, yeah, drop me messages and stuff like that, and get involved in the comments as well, because I do read them all. You know, I try to reply to every single one I can as well. And yeah, I enjoy this community channel, I really do. You know, I may not be out in my Golf R as much these days because of, yeah, the way things are in the world. But, you know, I still love the car, I love the brand, and this is certainly the biggest thing that's got me thinking, a manual Mk8 Golf R with drift mode and an extra 30 brake horsepower sounds quite nice, sounds quite tempting. So, yeah, we will have to see. But listen, thanks so much for watching. Hope you have a fantastic rest of the day. Let me know what you think about these developments. Thanks as always for the support, and yeah, stay tuned to this channel. Plenty more content coming next week when, yeah, after the 4th of November, we'll finally find out for sure. And yeah, interesting stuff. And yeah, long may it continue. Long may they kind of keep the hot hatch kind of going for as long as they can. And, you know, there's likely to potentially to be other models in the range as well. They're really sort of pushing the R range as well quite strongly. People have also sent me sound clips as well, one with an Akrapovic exhaust, great option. Very sought after in the UK, ridiculously expensive options. Lots of people tried to sell them. They basically buy a Golf R with an Akrapovic exhaust and then flip them on eBay or Facebook. And it sounds good. It obviously can't rev as high, but it makes a few pops and stuff. But that's just what we have to expect with all the new sort of like particulate filters and OPFs and GPFs and all sorts. But yeah, we're getting close to it now. We're getting close to the final reveal, and yeah, something that I've kind of started off on my channel sort of the start of this year, and I've really enjoyed sharing it with you lot. And I feel it's kind of coming to an end now with yeah, once we know it all, that's when, yeah, that's when people can make their decisions of what they think, and I'm sure road tests and stuff will come out after that as well. But listen, thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments of this new information, and yeah, have a fantastic rest of your day. Like, share, subscribe. Best way to keep this community channel kind of going, really. That is the only way to keep it going, frankly. And yeah, I always appreciate your support massively. But thanks so much for watching. I'll see you again next time. Cheers, guys.